In this video, we're going to see how to set up an analog mixer. Set the mixer on a flat surface close to your audio source and your speakers. Make sure it's turned off before connecting anything. Connect the power adapter to the mixer and plug the other end into an outlet. Keep the mixer turned off during the setup. You can connect to the mixer using XLR cables or TRS cables. For the output, run cables from the left or right outputs on the mixer to your powered speakers. To be more specific, let's work on a single channel. All the controls repeat on the other channel strips. The gain knob controls how much the signal is coming into the mixer. Start low, then slowly turn it up while doing a mic check. If the sound gets distorted, the gain is too high. EQs. In simple words, we use EQs to shape the sound. There are generally 3 controls on the EQ setting: the low, the mid, and the high. Turn down the low if the audio is too boomy. Reduce the high if the sound is harsh. And you can adjust the mid to bring the vocals forward or back. You can also control the volumes on each channel using the volume knobs. And once you have mixed and balanced everything just as you like, you can use the master volume fader to increase or lower the sound with keeping the same balance. On the top of the mixer, on each channel strip, there are 3 buttons. The red one is the phantom power control. This button needs to be turned on if you're using a condenser mic with this mixer. Below that, there is the pad button, which lowers the sound by 20 decibels. You can use this button if the sound from the source is too loud and you don't feel comfortable adjusting it with the gain or the volume control. On the right side of the pad button, there is the low cut button. If the sound is too boomy and you have to cut a lot of low on EQ, you can use this button to make things simpler. Further down, there is a red knob named FX Send. By increasing or lowering this knob, you are controlling how much the signal from that strip is going to the FX Send output. That output is a separate one, so it's not the one that's going to the speakers. The reason this separate output exists is because you might want to have a separate mix for your online Zoom session. So you might want the audience in the room to hear something, but the audience in the Zoom session to hear another thing. Using this, you can have a separate mix for the Zoom setup. You can also control the overall volume of that separate mix using the FX return volume knob at the bottom of the mixer. This way, you can increase or lower the volume, keeping the same balance. Below the red FX knob, you can find yellow knobs, which are the pan settings. Using the pan settings, you can control how much signal is going to each left and right outputs. If you have an operator, they might want separate outputs for their headphones. There is an output for the headphones and there is a separate volume knob for that output. Also, if you're connecting separate monitors to this mixer for the performing musicians, you have 2 outputs, the left monitor and the right monitor outputs. And you can control the overall balance of the mix using the monitor level knob. Here are some of the common troubleshooting scenarios. If you're not getting any sound, make sure your main volume is up, check that the channel volume is up, ensure the gain is not turned all the way down, and lastly, confirm that your cables are securely plugged into both the mixer and the speakers. If the sound is distorted or too loud, lower the gain or channel volume and keep watching for clipping lights. If they flash red, reduce the level. If you're hearing feedback, it usually happens when a mic is pointed at a speaker. What you can do is reposition the speaker and the mic, avoid standing directly in front of the speaker with the mic, and lastly, lower the volume. What is the difference between gain and volume? Gain controls how much signal is coming into the mixer from your mic or source. Think of it like setting the strength of the input. Too low and you'll barely hear it. Too high might distort or clip. The channel volume controls how much of that signal gets sent to the main output, which is what your audience hears. You can think of it like the loudness control after the sound has already been picked up. The best practice is starting by setting your gain so the input signal is strong but not clipping. Do this while doing a mic check. Then use a volume fader to balance how loud you want it to be for your audience. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give us a like and subscribe our channel. We have more instructional videos available on our channel.